Om Namo Narayana, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Om, Shiva Hum, Om. Welcome to another Satsang with your host Chuck the Yogi from the Yogi Cave, as we're about to finish the Shiva Sutra and begin a third one. Let us continue. 3.42. This is a mouthful and a half. Bhutakanchu Kita Davimukto Bhuyaha Pati Samaha Praha. Translation: with the ending of desire, the body is seen simply as a covering. The yogi becomes liberated and attains the state of Shiva. Sutra's pretty self-explanatory, needs no further elaboration, so let's move on to the next one. 3.43. Naisargika haprana sambandha. Translation: the connection of pure consciousness with prana is natural. Commentary: this means that yogis use the flow of prana, or energy, as a means to purify the nadis and achieve a state of constant pure consciousness through the practice of sadhana prescribed by the yogi's guru, Jai Makan. And that can't be emphasized enough, that pranayama should be under proper guidance. I won't take responsibility for anybody getting into that without proper guidance, because I've had harrowing experiences myself way back in the 80s because I didn't have any guidance back then. And I'm alive by the grace of God. Anyway, let's continue. 3.44. Nasika antar madhya samyamat kimatra savya pasavya saushum neshu. Translation: prana shakti flows in the left, the ida, right, pingala, and the central shushumna channels. By constant awareness, it abides in the shushumna, which is supreme consciousness. Commentary: here a clear explanation is given that the central channel is the channel that leads to pure consciousness. This is achieved by balancing of the left and right channels by different yogic practices prescribed by the guru, Jai Makan. So it's about balance, and it's about opening the central channel. So it's no coincidence that Tutankhamun's crown had both a snake and a vulture, who represents the Ida and Pingala. And in balance, that moves up the spine and inhabits in balance the inner sanctum, which is where the Sahasrara and the other key energy centers in the skull are located. I'm not going to get into details about that. All right, let me move on. 3.45, the last one of the Shiva Sutra. Bo yaha syat pratim milanam. Translation: the yogi will again be united with his true self. He will be reabsorbed into Shiva. Pretty self-explanatory. The whole purpose of yoga is to move beyond the sandbox. And what are we moving towards? Well, there's different opinions on that. And I'll just keep it at neti. Not this, not that. Anyway, I'm going to move on to this third sutra. This other than the Heart Sutra of the Buddhist that I chanted every weekend for many years, like nearly half a decade, at the Zen Center in the Caribbean, in Japanese. Other than that Heart Sutra, this is the most condensed sutra, so I don't know exactly how long it's going to take me to unpack it, even though I got about 4 pages worth of it. We'll have to see. It gets really, really dense. Anyway, it's called the Pratya Bija Hridaya. And Bija because it's seed. It's a very condensed kind of a a sutra, and funny enough, it has Hridaya in it, which is heart. So it's very, very akin to the Heart Sutra and Buddha Sutra. Anyway, let's start with the first sutra. Chitihi Svatantra Vishva Siddhi Hetu. Translation: Supremely independent Chitti, universal pure consciousness, is the cause of the universe. Commentary: This goes back to what was previously mentioned in the previous sutra. The scripture is dharmic and therefore of the mind-only school. All matter originates from consciousness according to the school, Jaimakan. So the mind-only school can be found in the Sanatana Dharma as well as in the Buddha Dharma. And there's different strains of that in the Buddha Dharma. And there's strains of Zen Buddhism that are very strong in the mind school. But the root is in the Sanatana Dharma. Because Buddhism, the Buddha Dharma, is an offshoot of the Sanatana Dharma. Anyway, Sutra 2. Svechaya Svabhitao Vishvam Unmilayati. Translation: Of its own free will Chitta unfold the universe on its own screen. Commentary: Jivas constantly ask, why does the universe exist at all? The answer is simple: because of pure consciousness's own free will. No other explanation is needed. Modern scientific theory posits that the universe may be a holographic image that is extrapolated from a two-dimensional screen. These scriptures have anticipated these modern theories by centuries and centuries and centuries. Jaimaka. So yeah, this is a very advanced theoretical sutra, and it just shows, this is just evidence that the yogis understood these things many centuries ago. Anyway, the West, we're only catching up. Sutra 3. Tanana Anurupa Grahya Grahaka Vedat. Translation: That universe is manifold because of the differentiation of reciprocally adapted objects and subjects. Commentary: This is a very technical sutra. The explanation for the sutra is that this universe is one interconnected torus. The torus is the ultimate fractal. All other fractals interconnected within all other fractals in infinite varieties of ways. One particle on one side of the universe adapts instantaneously to another particle on the other side of the universe, as if there were no space nor time between them. This is spooky action at a distance, as Einstein would deride. Jaimakan. So, Einstein did not have a Catholic enough mind, a universal enough mind, an open enough mind to see that this was even possible. He wanted to stick with particles. He didn't like this spooky action at a distance nonsense, as he would have thought. But the yogis anticipated this centuries and centuries ago, and we're only just catching up. It's been really hard for us, but we're getting there. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because it's been quite a lot, and the sutra just gets denser and denser, thicker and thicker as we go deeper and deeper into it. It's short and sweet and intense. Anyway, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Shivaya, Shiva Om, Shiva Om, Jai Ma, Jai Mahakan. Till next time.